Hello fellow humans and welcome to rating every tier 10 after 9.1, and thanks to this guy for making this thing. Now it has everything in it except for the Type 71, but we'll add that later. So I've made a couple of categories here from OP to Scam. Now ideally what you want to have is you have a very even spread. Most of them are going to be around good to average and meh, and then a couple are going to be above and below. Otherwise your list is just completely stupid because it's biased in one direction where it's not supposed to be, because that's not how it works. So the majority of tanks should be somewhere around average, because that's how balancing works. And that is where the M60 really does come in as well, and it does fit in there quite nicely. I would put it at average because it's nothing bad, but it's nothing special either. So I would put these two. Again, the M60 and the M40 pattern are essentially the same vehicle, with very minor differences that aren't very noticeable. So they both go in the same spot. The E5, it got slightly buffed, but it still doesn't have its DPM back, so I would put it down there in the meh spot, because it's not as good as it used to be. Then the 57 Heavy, well, that's going all the way up here. Why? Because it's now better than the MX-50B, pretty much, and you can use the extra consumable as well, sometimes, not all the time, obviously, to get a 1.8 seconds interclip reload, so it definitely goes up into the great section here. And if you know how to play this vehicle, it is going to be an absolute monster. Same with the yaw as well. Now, it had its like plate armor here nerfed, but you know, that doesn't really make that much of a difference. And the Concept 1B, I think this one does go into the good tier. It's nothing outstanding, it's nothing special. It is obviously better than the E5 a bit. However, it's nowhere near up there. I mean, there is going to be... We'll even see if there's going to be a tank up here or down there even in the first place. Then the E4, it's still a bit meh, I would say. It just kind of doesn't really work the way it is currently, and it still has this massive cupola on top, so it's kind of a problem. E3 has higher alpha damage, is very well armored. I think that tank is definitely good. Now, obviously, I'm not a big fan of tank destroyers, but I try to classify them as accurately as possible. So, there's that. T100, it got nerfed. Kind of down, so average good somewhere there. Let's put it in the good for now, and leave it there. Then the 62A, yeah, I mean, it's not amazing, I would say, but it is definitely fitting with the vehicles down here with the M60 and the Patton as well. Pretty solid vehicle, but nothing special about it. The W140, well, Scam tier is basically a bad tank they have to pay for. For the W140, you can obtain it for free, but the way it is currently, it is absolutely trashed here, the way they have changed it, which is a bit sad. Then, the 907, I mean, it depends. It's like, it's not special, but it kind of would deserve a bit of mess spot, but I would put it into the average category. And the T22 is better than that. It obviously has the insane side armor. It doesn't have any front armor, but it can play very well. It's still very good at brawling, which is what these tanks are supposed to be, so we'll put it in the good category here. Then we have the IS-4 and the IS-7. The IS-4, I mean, it exists. It's there. I think it's average, and that's about it, really. And the IS-7, it's okay. It's nothing special. It's hovering somewhere between good and average again, but I'm going to put that into the good section. Now, don't worry. We'll fill up this tier here later. Don't worry about that. And we're going to fill that up now with the Object 260, which you have to pay for it. So, you know, obviously, if you have to spend real money for a vehicle and it's not that good, then that weighs it down a lot more. If it were a tech tree vehicle, it would go somewhere up here. But given that you have to pay for it, it's meh, pretty much. Now, 268, it's the most average tank destroyer that you can imagine, pretty much. It's the most tank destroyer of tank destroyers in the game. And, that's where it is as well. Now, the 263. It got nerfed. It can't YOLO anymore as well. Some people call it insane or something like that. It definitely isn't. The armor is quite weak. The gun's very strong, but the chassis of it is a bit of a dud. So it is going to go down here into the meh category. The E50M, it's great. It's like if you want a tier 10 that can do literally anything, it's the E50M. I mean, it could go up here, but not quite. So it is going to stay in the great section because it is a very, very strong vehicle. And the Leopard does the same. Now, I would put the Leopard up here. And I should put the Leopard up here. But it's going to go here because it is extremely, extremely hard to play. So it's going there, basically. Now, the KBZ 50T, which you can only obtain in crates, so that's going down here. I've played the vehicle. It's somewhere in the meh tier, meh to average tier from what I've experienced with playing the vehicle. But obviously, given that the only way currently obtainable is via those crates, it is absolutely going in the scam tier. Now, mouse, it's meh. Because it's meh, mouse. It's slow, it has a horrible gun, it has the armor, but that's it. That's all it has. The E100 has its third armor buffed, so it definitely deserves some higher rating than last time. And it is going to be... It's a very solid vehicle, so it is going to definitely go into the average section here, and that is very, very nice. Now, the VK90, do I put it in great? Yeah, let's put it in the good section here, because, while it's very solid vehicle, there are better options, really, and, you know, it's very good. Now, it can be great. If you're a fan of super heavies, it's definitely a great vehicle. However, because you have to like it, and because of the real turret, I'm gonna put it down one tier. Then the Jaeger, it's gonna go... I would love to put it down here, but it's going here. Because I don't care about it, but it is annoying. It's very clumsy to play, but it is definitely very hard-hitting if you do play it properly. So it's a 50-50 whether you're gonna do very well or very miserably. Then the grill, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to put it in the mech category with the alpha damage nerf to it. Now, obviously, the less alpha damage a paper tank has, the worse it is for it. So, yeah, that's not great. But we're gonna put it in the meh. It might as well be average, but especially a tank like this, a paper tank, is very difficult to play, and that is obviously not very great for it. And it's also a tank destroyer, so it hurts, but there it goes. Now, the Vickers Light. It's still a pretty solid vehicle, and I think it can go into the good section here, pretty much. It's not too bad. Now, the FE4202. If you know how to use hash, it's going right there. If you don't, it's going there, basically. So, now why is there such a big separation between the FE4202 and the M48 pattern? Well, it's very simple, as in, this thing has hash. If you use the hash properly, you have 440 alpha damage. You don't have that on the M60 or the M48 pattern. And they're basically like your average medium tanks. They're fine, but they're nothing special. Obviously, that's how it should be, right? It's not everything is good or great. Most of things are going to be average. That's how it's supposed to be. Because if you move everything up, you're just exaggerating the performance of the vehicles. Now, the 215B, it got buffed a little bit, so I still put it in average because it's still very difficult to play and pull off. And not that rewarding in terms of it. Like, for example, Leo, you can absolutely slay with it if you know what you're doing. Now, probably should go down here, but it's staying up there. It's my baby. So, 205B, somewhere between here and average and good, depending on how you enjoy the vehicle. The line, obviously, isn't that great with all the Churchills, so you definitely have to watch out for that, but it is a solid vehicle. The Chieftain, yeah, it's going up there. Why? Because, well, I mean, it's not supposed to, but some people are going to be pissed if I put nothing in the OP section, so I'll piss off everyone else by putting the Chieftain up there instead. So, anyway. Now, Super Conqueror, it's definitely great. Now, obviously, the Chieftain does require a couple of skills to get that out of it, and it's not really OP, but I'll put it up there. Deal with it. You gotta do something wrong somehow, right? You can't, yeah. Anyway, 183, yeah, that's where it belongs. I don't care how good it belongs there. That's all. It's not going anywhere else. 4005, yeah, I mean, it's one of those vehicles that sometimes it works, a lot of times it doesn't. So when compared to the Jaeger, especially, you have a lot less security here. I would probably put it down there in the paper hell together with the grill. The Badger, nah. It got buffed, but nah. Just nah. Nope. Now, STB1 with 11 degrees of gun depression, and it's great. Basically, because it can do a lot of things. You know, Leopard E50M, it's up there. It has the 11 degrees of gun depression, has very solid mobility, and also turret armor can hold down very well. Could go down here, but I kind of want to put it a bit above the Vickers because obviously it has the better turret armor and all that. So it's going up here, basically. Now the Hori, it's that. It's tank destroyer. It has a lot of penetration. It doesn't have a lot of armor, so that's where it goes. And now the 1-1B. Let's start with that. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't buy it, to be honest. You have to pay for it, and it's worse than a regular 1-2-1, which is a good tank, definitely. The only thing it really is missing is the gun depression, but obviously because of its origin, that's just how it is. Now, the 113. This is a very, very underrated vehicle, but it is a great vehicle at that, if you know how to use it properly, and that is how it should be. It's just 3,500 EPM almost on a heavy tank. That's something. That is definitely something. Now, the 5A. Hello, my old friend. You have to pay for a worse 113. I wouldn't. It's not quite going down there. You know what? Let's put the badger up here as well. Just to illustrate that, because obviously you have to pay for these with real money, and you don't want to do that. Now, the 113. I mean, GFT. It's like the 268, but more armored, basically. So it's going in the average pile as well, just like that. Now, the Batchat. Where does it go? I think it's going in the average pile as well. It's not great. It's not bad. But it does have a lot of extra difficulty to play it. Could put it up in the good, but I'm going to choose it to be average because, you know, that's how it's supposed to be. Going to have a nicely balanced game here. How it should be, right? That's how it should be. If you want to do it, if you want to rate them, you got to rate them based on the average. Not based on claiming that everything is OP, because that's not the case. 30B, I don't think I have to talk about that. It's miserable. Don't buy that. The 50B, I mean, it used to be like up here in this section, but it hasn't been completely destroyed, but it definitely has to go in the average pile now, far below a 50% heavy or a yaw, and that's where it belongs now, unfortunately. That's where we go, and same with the MX M454. The thing is, you have to pay for this vehicle. 25,000, it's been the last sold price. If it would be 20k, it would be cheaper. Yeah, I would put it higher, but given that it's certainly worse than a Chieftain, and let's get that down here. That's a joke. That's a joke. Just don't kill me for that. But yeah, it's going down here, and that's where it does belong. Now the Force 105, same. It's nothing special. It's nothing bad either, so it does go into the average pile just like everything else as well. Now, there aren't that many left, actually, here. We have the Type 71 as well, but I'll do the Type 71 at last, because then I can just put it in easier at the end. The Pajero, it's a good... In the right hands it is, yes. But given that it's somewhere on the same skill level and level of reward as the Batchat, I will put it into the average pile as well. Just like that. And then the TVP with 1.5 second intra clip reload does sound very juicy, but it is going in the average pile because that's where it belongs. It is, again, pretty difficult to play, and that's, like, adds a lot more in difficulty than, for example, a Leo, because obviously you have a lot less DPM, you have less mobility, and you also have the autoloader to deal with. Now the Kronvang, it used to be, like, down here, basically, but they buffed it a bit, so in hold down it's here, but in everything else, it's here. So that's about what that is. Now the 60TP is a very, very good choice for beginners, so it's going all the way up here because of that, going on the great pile. Now overall, I would rate it in the good section, but because it's such a great line also for the beginners, you've got to factor that in as well. You know, with the 53TP and the 50TP, it is going up into the great section. Now the VK is definitely trash. Now, there is a reason why the OP section stays empty, because there is no tier 10 that is currently OP. It's that simple. Now, we have the T95. I mean, these two would technically go in here as well, but I've just added this extra section, basically, just to show you don't buy those. T95 got buffed a bit, but still, it still goes into the meh pile because it's somewhere on the 260 level, as in, it would be somewhere up here if it were a tech tree tank, but you have to pay money for it, so nah. And the Sheridan, it goes in here. It's a solid tank, but more than average, it does not get. And I will obviously also have the Type 71, and it's nothing special. It's an average vehicle, so it goes right there. So, what do you think about the list? Do you agree? Do you not agree? Obviously, that's how it goes. It's my list after all. What belongs somewhere else? What do you think? You know what? I'll put this up here. I don't care. In my heart, it belongs up there. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next one. Goodbye.